We've got the guests just sitting there. Bid's here, Harry's here, Susie's here. May's sitting in the studio too. May's not going to be on the panel. She might be on the panel next year, but she's not going to be on the panel tonight because Louanne's in the green room getting done up. And these are the letters that Louanne and the panellists over here... Harry, stop making me giggle. Not very good. Here we go. This is the first one they'll be addressing tonight. What's wrong with me? That's what these guys were asking. What's wrong with me? I've been in love with this woman for years, and now I'm starting to feel like I have to run. Thank you, Vinny. She told me I was on this camera. There you go. Second letter tonight. We're both in our early 30s, and the time to make it is now. They're two dynamic, achieving women. They're working together. Is everything harmonious? I don't think so. And the last letter tonight. Do you all remember that sales pitch to Aussies? About the incredibly fast internet speed the NBN will deliver? Not happening, is it? We'll see what the panellists have got to say. Don't go away. Sweet and Sour starting, well, yeah, now.
Got a problem, big or small, would a miracle be nice? Our motley crew is back, churning out advice. You might even laugh a bit in the following half hour. Park your backside on the couch, cause baby it's time for Sweet and Sour. Right here on Sweet and Sour.
Pour some sugar on there, baby.
It's time for Sweet and Sour.
How's about some chili?
It's time for Sweet and Sour.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Sweet and Sour. Lovely to have your company. Gary Mitchell here with you for the next half hour, together with... well, I call them A-listers. They're a beautiful team here to deliver comment on your letters tonight. First up, my mate Bid is here. Hello, sir.
Hi, Mitch. How are you?
I'm always well, and I know you are too.
I am.
You've been acting?
I have been acting in a film called Toxic Obsession. Watch out for it.
Toxic Obsession.
Sounds like something Sharon Stone and Michael
I
Douglas
was
should have done
is it a love
50
story?
years ago. Maybe not.
Maybe not.
No.
Louanne, are you starring in Toxic Obsession?
Not quite.
Not quite. But you're on a commercial TV station tomorrow morning, aren't you?
I am.
You have to get up really early and chat to them about relationships, yes?
About how to spot a lie in a text message.
Ooh.
Read it.
We can spot it.
If I write a letter to you next year now, because we're coming to the end of the year, can we talk about that on Sweet and Sour?
We can.
Very
We can.
good. Susie,
Yes,
you're also on TV too now.
I am occasionally. Yeah.
Architects everywhere. What's
I know,
going on?
architects everywhere. Oh, it's good. It's a good show. It's on Channel 10.
Are we allowed to talk about the Rottnest Island Board tonight?
We can talk about Rottnest. It's a beautiful place, and we have got Seafood Saturday, and there's a whole lot of other
What's
events.
Seafood Saturday?
Seafood Saturday is where all the providers actually bring out different seafood, and it's a whole family event.
Harry, do you remember when we were young, we would go to... We're still young. We would go to Rotto.
Yes.
And you'd go to the pub.
Yes.
And the crayfish legs were
Monsters.
this big, and they'd sell them
Monsters.
in bags.
Absolutely.
And now you can't get one.
Have one beer, two
Oh,
beers.
sorry, last year, this last season, there were so many crays you could catch easily just off the jetty.
You don't get them at the pub anymore because they're,
But
anybody who's
Thompson's
fishing.
is there, there's fishing, there's crayfish there, there's a
Harry,
whole fish
where's
place.
the market, mate?
Well, obviously everyone's talking about the Royal Commission at the moment, so we won't be seeing any movement on interest rates shortly. I think
I think you're right.
we'll be staying calm for a little while.
It seems to be a contraction of liquidity that's choking everybody.
Till the report comes out in February next year.
All
we'll
my
see
mates
what
in
happens.
business are going, can't get any money to throw into the joint.
No, it is a bit quiet, but anyway, we'll survive.
Here we go.
Yep.
Oh, so loony. Hi, Sweet and Sour. We've been going out for 7 years. We've got plans to get married. Everything seemed blurry when we were watching some stupid conspiracy anti-lunar landing program on TV, and she said with conviction, yep, I believe we didn't land on the moon too. I laughed and then realised that this clever, considered, successful woman was totally serious. When I pointed out that the program wouldn't be able to substantiate the idea because it's just an easy, inexpensive production to make, some quick dollars for the networks, and the science to get us to the moon and now way beyond is solid, she insisted that she believes humankind didn't make it to the moon and back. It really took me by surprise because she's never been easily given to irrational and baseless notions. Am I wrong to look at her now after all these years and think she's not the brilliant woman of my dreams? I can't help revisiting our history together with a different view of her. The questions I have for you is, what's wrong with me? I've been in love with this woman for years, and after one showing of an irrational thought, I'm starting to feel like I need to run. So do I stay or do I go? Milton in queue, Victoria, bid. First one to you, sir.
Milton, I love a good conspiracy. I love a bad conspiracy. I just love them.
Drama, we love drama, don't we?
I do. My favourite is that Elvis is alive and well and working as a Presley impersonator in Las Vegas, and that every night after the show he wanders up to women in the bar and says, "Oh, I really am the king." Anyway, Milton.
He'd be 80-something now.
He would be stone, whatever. Milton, you remind me of the apocryphal princess who had the most perfect day with her prince, and then at 1 minute to midnight someone spilt wine on her dress and she said, and I quote, "My day is ruined." You've had 7 fantastic years with this woman, and suddenly you're starting to retrospectively rewrite your history over some, to quote you, some stupid conspiracy program. Listen to the language you now use about the woman you profess to love. You say that she's irrational and baseless, given to baseless notions, starting to feel like you need to run. I think that's a comment on you much more than her. I don't think there's anything wrong with you. I don't think there's anything wrong with her. Humans are flawed and flaky and sometimes irrational. We are often creatures of emotion that happen to have intellect rather than intellectual creatures that happen to have emotions.
Lou.
Oh, me? Okay. Well, I've got to say that if she was to run on any moment that, you know, you had some sort of irrational thought, she would have probably been gone in 7 days.
Ages ago, yep.
Not 7 years. The fact is that when someone challenges your values, we don't like it. When somebody supports your values, so she obviously supports your values more than she challenges them, and she's challenged something that you believe in, and you've made a judgment on her because of that. So if you want to be in a real grown-up relationship, you're going to have to sometimes realise that your partner's going to support and challenge you,
So
and hallelujah for that.
Saying, grow up, mate.
Yes,
It's normal,
grow up.
Susie.
Well, I actually watched The Landing. My parents got me out of bed. I just had to take it back for that. No, I wasn't born on the moon, but I could have quite easily. But I have to say, look, I was born then. Oh, you're so sweet. Yes, I was 5. Anyway.
There.
Anyway, the point is, you know what, Milton? I have to look at your name. Milton, seriously, you're going to have lots of times when you don't agree. Maybe you need to have a good, hard look at yourself, and I actually think that maybe she needs to go. You should be saying, what a brilliant woman I'm with, because she's questioning
After
science.
7 years.
You know,
how lucky
seriously,
are you,
what's wrong
mate?
with you?
Goodness me, Harry, last word to a man. How appropriate.
Seriously, I'd see a new pickup line when you
Who
go
was
to
on the moon?
Yeah, a new pickup line when you go to a bar. Like, before I buy you a drink, who landed on the moon? Was it actually real? I mean,
This is part of my filtering process.
that's just, like, seriously, Milton, 7 years it took to ask that question.
Oh, man.
seriously.
We asked
come
you
on,
people
come
at
on.
home this question. Can relationships endure when there's little respect for one another's opinion? I don't know whether that's going on here, but this is what you said in answer to that question. The answer, only 4% said yes. And I think that's fairly true.
Yes.
You've got to have respect for your partner's
It is.
opinion, don't you? Whether you agree with it or not. When we come back, we're going to be talking about girl power. In a sense.
Or not.
Or not. Don't go away, more of Sweet and Sour.
Cold in here.
It is cold in here, isn't it?
Freezing.
It is cold.
Right here on Sweet and Sour.
Pour some sugar on there, baby.
It's time for Sweet and Sour.
I'm going to be
Welcome back to Sweet and Sour. If you'd like to send us a letter, send it to these social media points up here on your screen right now. There you go. There are 5 points. And no excuses. You can send any of your letters to those contact points that'll land here. And for everyone that we do read out and discuss, we're going to send you to the movies, courtesy of our gorgeous Natalie Cameron and NRC Communications. And the movie we're sending you to this week is Overlord. And Louanne was telling me how great it is. So here we go. Letter 2, Sweet and Sour. I happily do what every employee does for their boss, and that is to make it easier for them wherever possible, tell the clients how good and sharp the boss is, and instill a bit of confidence in both. The boss is a rich girl who has had a company purchased for her, but to her credit, she's worked it, grown it, and to be admired. I was happy to join this all-female firm on the proviso that I could continue with my own clients as well as in a private capacity. I've grown the top end of her business by more than 300%. That's what I get paid for. I am her number one here. Despite all of this, the appreciation factor from her is very thin and the demand's growing. She even seems somewhat jealous of me. I've realised my own private clients need far more time as I've devoted all my energies to my boss. I'm feeling a little awkward as I'm certain that clients that I have bought in for her will want to leave with me if I do. I want her business to thrive, but she can't be dismissive and rude, and I'm forever asking her to pick up the phone as a courtesy to chat to clients and just make sure they're happy. We're both in our early 30s and the time to make it is now. I could stay and have my clients absorbed by my boss's firm, but it's starting to get a little uneasy. I could launch completely full-time on my own. Suggestions, please, as often it's the devil you know that is the better path. How does anyone make this decision? Katie of Burnside in South Australia, and we're going to a woman first. Hello, Suzie.
Hello, hello, Katie. Look, I want to say, first of all, I don't think this letter should be called Girl Power because I don't think it's anything about girl power. Katie, I'm going to my recommendation as a business owner who employs women and some men is do your boss a big fat favour and leave now. Do your boss a favour because when you go out, and you didn't have the guts to start your own business at the beginning, so you asked your boss whether you could run your own practice inside hers. She's doing all the hard work. Who's paying for electricity? She's paying salaries. She's paying a whole lot of stuff. There's a whole lot of stuff that you have to do to run a business. And if you honestly think that you're doing it hard, God, go out and try it on your own. And honestly, your boss will thank you for that.
Harry.
Look, Katie. Katie, look, you don't need to make
Four
your
more
boss.
pages to go on this one.
I'm glad you come in.
Go on, Harry.
You don't need to make your boss wrong so you can make a move. If you want to make a move, make a move.
You need to make a move.
That's it. If you're complaining
During your
about
30,
it, you're just like
you need to make a move.
I'm the similar to Suzie. I'm the only man in the whole office where I'm surrounded by women, and seriously, what you're talking about here, it's just treason.
It is.
You need to move. You're not happy, move. If you think that you're more important than the big mission, then move. And now I'll hand over to another incredible businesswoman.
No.
No, you won't, because Luanne's going to have the final word on this one. So first we're going to bid.
Everybody's said what I think, and Luanne's got a lot more to say. I would just follow the advice of a man that I personally deeply admire, former president, Jimmy Carter, who said, go out on a limb, that's where the fruit is. Luanne.
Oh, always with sagely advice.
Being in business isn't easy, and this is why a lot of people don't do it. And having been in business for over 25 years myself and had many staff, many of them who think that they could run the business better than I could, that if they left, the business would fail. And here's a newsflash. There's something that hasn't been kind of mentioned here, that we're not in business to win a personality contest, okay? We're in business to serve and to serve people. And if you're employed to serve the clients, then that's what you do. If you're employed to build the business, that's what you do. Your boss is there to pay you, to pay the wages, to keep the tax department happy and to provide work. So, you know, your little bitter pills that you need to swallow because you know, your ego has got in the way and you're now ungrateful. And
you need to learn. You need to learn this stuff now. It's your learning time now.
I just want to say, and I agree with Luanne totally, that has she ever thought to thank her boss for the opportunity of that job?
Exactly.
Have you ever thanked your boss?
We'll find out. We asked you at home to answer this question for us. Is staff loyalty to the boss a thing of the past? Well, this is interesting. Have a look at this. Half the people said yes, half the people said no. So on their own reflections, I'd say 50% of the people would
People are
aren't
only
loyal
loyal
anymore.
to themselves. That's it.
I
They're
think
only
so.
loyal to
The end
I
of
think
the
there's
day-
a generational thing there.
Why? Younger generation.
Well, no, I think that there's different requirements at different ages.
Yep.
There's different reasons why
Any
you're
employee
working.
that you have, if another employer came along and said to your employee, we'll give you double the money and you have to work half the hours, you know where your loyalty is going to be? See you, bye. Nice working for you.
See you, bye. We're going to go. When we come back, sorry, Harry, I've cut you off. When we come back, we're going to be talking about this wonderful national investment called the NBN, and it's not working for a few people who've swapped over. Don't go away. We'll be right back with the NBN discussion.
Is that technology?
It is technology.
Come on, you're right.
It's time for Sweet and Sour. Right here on Sweet and Sour.
We're already talking about the NBN. Dear Mitch and panellists, I've just swapped over to the NBN. Can someone please explain why as a nation we've created this appalling network which seems to me to be slower than what I had before? I could be wrong, but it certainly times out far more than my previous non-NBN service did, and at times there's just nothing for hours. We're going to be paying this for this as a nation for years. How is it that the politicians created this fiasco and we've just accepted it? From what I hear, we're going to be looking at technologies like 5G that will make this $100 billion investment now totally redundant very soon, but we will be still paying for this crap for decades. Worse still is that because it works so poorly, we waste so much precious time waiting for it to work. Do you all remember the sales pitch to the Aussie public, which was incredibly super fast internet speed, and that was what the NBN would deliver? When it is working, the speed tests tell me that speeds are usually the same as previously. So can any of you tell me who made all the money here and who can we sue for this botch? Surely someone is responsible. Bryony of Cottesloe in WA obviously not getting good service out in Cottesloe. Harry, you getting good service?
Well, I am now, Gary, but I can honestly say the first 2 years of going from very good internet at home to NBN was challenging. The people that installed it was great. Everything else was fine. The customer service was great. Just the speed just went backwards. What's happened in probably the last 2, 3, 5 years is we've got more people on Netflix, more people on Prime, more people pulling more tonnage down that fibre optic that was there originally and the plan that was put in, and we never ended up getting fibre to the house. We actually got fibre to the node. I stand corrected because I'm not a real
that's
tech head.
correct.
Yep.
Yes.
Thank you, Susie. See, architects, they know everything.
So our usage has grown.
And,
but
yeah, no, our usage has grown and people are downloading more, and you know that's before you look at gaming now that's become interactive, as I've heard, found out tonight. And look, who's got the money? It's gone into the corporate coffers, and what's always going to happen with technology is that whatever you had 5 years ago is going to become obsolete through innovation. We're always going to innovate.
5 years ago.
I was at a seminar on the weekend, and I saw a satellite that was the size of a Rubik's Cube.
wow,
And
the Chinese are putting them up everywhere.
No, the Australian guys. There's a guy in here in Perth.
We're putting our own up.
Yeah, putting his launches them,
Wow.
everything, the whole lot. And therefore, it's just amazing. And it's the size of a Rubik's Cube. There's a photo.
Isn't that
Just couldn't believe
amazing?
it.
Susie,
That's it.
Well,
how's your service at home?
Bryony and I live quite close to each other. I don't have NBN yet, and I don't have it in my office, which is in Netherlands. But I can say that our internet is just shit.
But hang on, you're on the old service.
But I'm on the old service, but people who have got it across the road of NBN, terrible.
Same.
It's just terrible. I mean, we
Same.
can't get 2 bars
Same.
on our phone. I can't even download an email on my phone. It's just shit. So I blame Malcolm Turnbull for this one, because he is the one that decided that we wouldn't have it to the door. So I've heard that the people are doing it differently now. They're actually going and doing it through cable, and doing it through Foxtel.
Oh, they're pulling off the NBN.
Yeah, getting
And
off
doing-
expert and then going onto the cable. So
Wow,
that way. So
that's very clever.
I mean, I'm looking at everything, but I seriously would like to bring back typewriter. paper, envelopes and stamps, because I think that might be... And the old landline that you used to have to hold on and hide yourself when you were trying to talk to a boy in your kitchen.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
You're changing your name to Esme on the weekend, aren't you?
And ghosting someone meant that you just don't pick up the phone.
We asked you at home this question, and here we go. Will the NBN ever be a thing to be applauded when every political party thinks it's a dud and blames the other side? And here's what you said. Most people don't hold much hope. 26% who are obviously getting good NBN service, that's not the majority, said yes, and the other 74% said exactly what we've been echoing so far. OK, Louanne.
Look, it's really boring for me. Anything technology, I just go, do I really have to make a decision?
But you do.
I know, and the pressure is.
You've only got...
Telstra is like
4
really
months left.
knocking at my door every day. You've got to get this, you've got to get this.
There's a million companies.
And look,
How do you pick?
how do you
pick?
Okay, this is
It's
how
not
I
going to make a
pick.
difference.
This
There's
is how
really
I
only
pick.
one
My
NBN company.
16-year-old said to me, if we are still going to be on this same phone service, won't mention names, Optus, I am not moving with you. I'm going to move in with Dad full time, because unless you get Telstra, I can't play my game properly. So you have to get. You have to get.
Oh my God, I'm going to go to Optus. My 16-year-old can't play the game.
I don't think it's going to make a
Not that it's
difference.
called
He
anything.
has to get onto my hotspot on my phones and use all my data. I've got 40 gigs, is that what you call it, of data? And they're gone every single month from his hotspot
Wow.
because the connection is so
We
poor.
have to hotspot in our house too.
I don't think it'll make a difference whether you're Optus or Telstra after the changeover, because that's it.
At the end of the
NBN
day-
will own everything, and they'll just be Telstra, Optus, etc. will just be retail providers.
As long as I can send an SMS and I can answer my phone, I'm happy. I don't watch TV, I don't watch Netflix, I don't watch anything. I just...
Look, we're in a period of transition, though. I mean,
Stamps.
it's, you know, it's...
Stamps and envelopes.
Stamps and envelopes.
I carbon paper.
Bid, last word to you, sir.
look,
what have you got at home?
I've got the NBN. Bryony, I think you've nailed it. The panel's nailed it. It was an inferior system. It was poorly conceived from the get-go. It was badly rolled out, and then it was politically and not practically driven. It's unreliable and slow. Slow. I mean, this is slower than an asthmatic snail, you know. It's, I'll tell you how slow. It's 55th in the world. It's slower than Kazakhstan. It's 55th in the world. It's slower than Kazakhstan. It's 7 times slower than Singapore. I could go on. We're slower than the Czech Republic, Slovenia, Russia. You know, as for who's to blame, you know, success has many parents. Failure is an orphan. But I agree with Suzie. Dame Melba Truffle is the person that we really need to blame for this, because he was the minister that put the darn thing in and made the decisions. I would email Mr Turnbull personally to complain, but my NBN is down.
And he's not there to email anymore anyway.
it.
It's not only... Well,
Okay.
it's no longer there. It's going to be one of those funny things. You know, we're guinea pigs for the next generation. It'll be tried out with us, and they'll correct it, and they'll go on correcting it, and then they'll probably abandon it.
Yeah.
And ours as well.
They'll abandon us. Oh, that happens. We've got to go because Vinny's waving, the credits are on the screen, the music's come up, and I've had a fantastic time tonight. A-listers, see, they always make it fun, don't they? Can you guys come back next week?
Absolutely.
All right.
I'll see.
We'll be here.
I might be busy.
I'm only coming back as Susie's here.
Oh, so cute.
Yeah.
Would you have the same panel back next week as well? Would
Next
you do
week.
that?
Yeah, of course I would. Do you want to come?
I will.
Okay, I'm excited. I'm excited. In spite of the fact you have to get up early tomorrow morning, you'll be very tired by the time you get here next week. Because never mind. Bid.
Yeah, I'm coming.
I'm coming.
See you next week. Louanne, see you next week.
See you then.
Suzie,
Later.
see you next week. Harry.
See you next week.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, you're aware that we have to say goodbye to everyone watching. And I say thanks to the terrific crew, thanks to our wonderful panellists, and thanks for having us at home tonight, Australia. This is it. Come on.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Come on, you preempted it. Granny. You remember? Yeah. See you next week. Bye, folks.